Hi, preschool parents. Hope you're having a great Thursday. I'm excited to join you today to talk to you about our lesson that was in our large group the last Sunday on Mother's Day. If you've been following along, you know that each month we have what we call a heart print. And our heart print for this month is Jesus showed me how I should live. Sorry, I'm looking over at my notes because I want to get it right. Uh, and then each week we teach the preschoolers a lesson of examples from the Bible of how Jesus taught that. And we love it when our lessons are very literal lessons. Preschoolers are little literal creatures. And so this was a literal lesson. And those are some of our favorites to teach because they seem to be the ones that they really get. I think as an adult, you could probably agree with me that sometimes Bible concepts are a little difficult for us to grasp. And so occasionally we have one that we really have to stretch our wings out to make sure that they get it. And sometimes we're just laying a foundation. Sometimes they don't get it. But the good thing is when they hear it again, they'll remember that they heard it and associate it with what they heard before. And so there are easier and harder stories to convey to little bitty ones, but this is a great one because it's the Good Samaritan story. It's very literal, very easy for a child to understand. And Miss Stephanie did a great job presenting that in a way that the preschoolers could really grasp. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I do invite you to look back through the Facebook page, find the link for Sunday, and let your kiddo watch it because it was a really great, very simple thing to understand about how we can serve and take care of others and show love. And so that's what we talked about this week. Our memory verse this week or this month is from the book of Matthew 5:16, and it says, "Let your light shine before others." And the light we're talking about, of course, is the light of Jesus that lives inside of us. And so we've been doing that memory verse with your children. And so all this really works together beautifully to show them how they can show love, how can they serve others, and that it's all because Jesus is in our hearts and we want to show that to other people. And so in the story, of course, we're all familiar with that story. A Jew is beat up and left by the side of the road, and two men pass that are very prestigious religious men, and they do not stop to help him. They go to the other side of the road because they're just too busy or too preoccupied, or they don't want to get their hands dirty. And the third man that came along, of course, was the Good Samaritan. And as a rule, the Samaritans and the Jews did not get along. And so it would have been more likely for him to pass by than the other two religious men. But he chose to stop and help. And like I said, that's a story that the preschoolers can really literally understand and get how we can show our love, for others. Some of the suggestions we had for you guys were to just to reiterate that story at home, is to when someone does something wrong to you, this is a great example to use between brothers and sisters, or maybe best friends or cousins. If someone hurts your feelings, that we should stop and pray for them. That's a really hard lesson in life. So the sooner we can learn that, the better off we all are. It's very hard to stay mad at someone once you pray for them, once you commit them to the Lord, and once you ask God to intervene on your behalf. And so it's a great example. Next time there's a little scuffle in your house or whatever, maybe stop everybody and say, let's just pray for each other. Think of some way you can pray for brother or sister and lead them through that. There's nothing more powerful than leading your children through prayer. We had a couple of other suggestions for you to just reiterate this at home, and you'll find the link to these things in this Facebook post. But that would be to go over their memory verse with them and remind them how that applies to the story. And then also sing This Little Light of Mine. Again, you'll find the links within the documents that I'll attach to this post. And remind them how that too teaches us to shine for Jesus. The little light that's outside of us, we want it to shine. And then the second verse of the song says, Jesus is the light. I'm going to let him shine. And just remind them that we want him to shine through us, through our words and through our actions. And that just begins to teach us some early accountability as preschoolers for what we say, what we do, how we hurt people, how we reconcile those things, how we make them right, and how we avoid doing it maybe the next time. And then we had a couple of other suggestions. I'm going to go over a few of them really quickly. Things like provide your preschooler with some band aids or bandages that they can play, act out the story with animals or dolls. Putting band aids on them, showing love, things like that. But let them act that out and retell the story. And then also really fun activity. I was in Ghana, Africa last summer. One of the best experiences of my life, and one of my team members, co-team members, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't my team; it was the Lord's team. But one of my team members, Lauren Murch, taught this lesson to the children in Africa. And so reflecting back on that, it's really fun to me to remember watching her teach and seeing their reaction to the story. And I just wish I could have been with the preschoolers on Sunday to see their reaction to the story, like I said, because this literal one is always a good one and they're very engaged. But Lauren actually brought gauze and some other things with her to Africa. And each group of students that she taught, she had them acted out. She had little stickers, and so somebody got to be the Jew, somebody got to be the Samaritan, somebody got to be the other two religious men, and then the actually funny, but the most popular role was the robbers that got to beat him up. It's funny. We of course controlled the amount of beating up that went on, but anyway, but they truly acted it out. And then the Good Samaritan came along, and he had the gauze, and he would wrap that. And so if you have time and maybe siblings in the house, or if not, just mom, dad, and preschooler, act this out with them. You might have to play more than one role, but that's okay. But maybe let them play the role of the Good Samaritan so they can see what that feels like, to be the one that shows that love, really against all odds, against what everything society said. He loved his neighbor with his heart and his soul and his mind and his strength. And that is one of the greatest lessons that the Lord ever taught us, and it is one of the greatest lessons that we can pass on to our children. So that was a really fun one to act it out. You'll find all of those suggestions again in the document that I'm going to attach with this, and you'll find links. I'll go ahead and attach the link to our lesson last week, and to our within that you'll find the song and the memory verse. So you might just take a few minutes and rewatch that, and then do some of these activities with your preschooler. Hopefully it fills some time, and also hopefully it helps to reiterate our story. Our job is to just partner with you at home. You are the real spiritual influence for your preschooler, and we definitely want to be your partner, but we definitely want you to take the lead on that. They spend so much quality time with you, especially now, and so we really just want to know, and want to encourage that you guys are carrying the lesson home and carrying it on throughout the week. That's a beautiful partnership, and we're just honored to be part of that. So I've enjoyed spending time with you today. You can, like I said, look for those links as part of this Facebook post. And we will see you on Sunday and again next Thursday for a Devo. Hope you're all having a great week. Reach out to myself, Marlo, Kylie, or Angela at your campus. If there's anything we can do for you, if there's any way we can pray for you, we love to be part of that. So please let us know. We're missing you, and we are just really praying that we'll see you soon. Take care. Happy Thursday.